integrity over everything. Service before self. Excellence everywhere. You get to choose what you're going to be an overbeliever in. All right, here we go. I got 2 words for you today, 2 words. Here they are. Take 5. Take 5. I want to ask you a question today. Here it is. Do you remember the last time you got angry? Oh yeah, I remember. Hey, anger is a natural emotion that we all experience, but we all react just a little bit different to it, don't we? Some of you are yellers. Boy, when you get angry, your voice raises up, you get big, and you shout out a lot of things you might not mean, and you give the best speech you ever regret in your anger. Or maybe you're a pouter, a throw-a-fitter. Maybe you're a complainer, someone that when you are wrong, you want the whole world to know. Doesn't matter if somebody has anything to do with it or not, you're going to let the world know that you've been wrong, how wrong you've been, and you're going to spend so much energy telling other people about how wrong you've been and how angry you are that if you use just a little bit of that to put towards a solution, you could change the world. That's the way some of you act. And yet there are others of us, myself included, that when anger comes, you just shut down. You stonewall. You don't let anybody in and you don't let anything out. You just keep it all in and you stuff it down, 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 as if that's a better way to deal with anger. And whether you raise your voice, you throw a fit, or you stuff it all down, let me ask you, when you think about your anger and reacting in that way, did it do you any good? Listen, I'm willing to bet that no matter how you reacted, it did not do you any. It didn't serve you. It didn't make things better. It didn't help you move towards your goals. It didn't help you live out your core values. Because when we react in anger, we will always regret our actions. Instead, I want to challenge us in the face of anger, whether it's because of a bad pitch, whether it's because of wrong that has been done to us, or something that is beyond even the borders of our school, happening in the world. When anger wells up within us, I want to challenge us to take 5. You know what I'm talking about. We've seen it in sport. When we're doing conditioning, when we're working hard and we're pushing ourselves and we have given our all and we're exhausted, coach says, hey, take 5, go get a wash. Take 5, go take a knee in the shade. What coach is telling us to do is to remove ourselves from this thing that is taxing us and do something totally different that will restore us. When our anger comes, I want to challenge us to do the same thing. That in between the plays, I want to challenge us to take 5 breaths. I want to challenge us in the midst of difficult conversations where anger wells up to take 5 minutes. In the face of big decisions, I want to challenge you, take 5 days. Take some time to remove yourself that you might respond in alliance with your core values. How do you do it? What's the different thing that you do when you take 5 to restore yourself when anger has depleted you? Number 1, I want you to have a controlled disagreement. Now hear this. I'm not telling you you can't disagree with wrong things happening. Boy, when a referee makes a bad call, they miss a thing, they get it wrong. I'm not saying you can't disagree with it. What I'm telling you to do, the thing that will help you restore your strength when you step back to take 5, is to control your disagreement and keep it in proportion to the wrong. In other words, don't go 13 for a wrong that was a 3. Don't blow up and lose a gasket going 13 when it was really just an offense that was a 3. By keeping your disagreements proportional, controlling them, you don't let something small turn into something big. Can't tell you how many conflicts, how many divisions have happened within a team or in relationships simply because something small was made something big. I want to challenge you with this new perspective that whatever wrong comes your way that stirs up your anger, it's almost never as bad as it feels in the moment. You see, that's why we need to take 5 so that our disagreement can be in proportion to the wrong. Number 2, When the wrong comes and you take 5, when the anger wells up within you, I want to challenge you to have a constructive frustration. You see, anger has a way of bringing about frustration within us, doesn't it? And that frustration has a way of being destructive. It causes us to do things we otherwise wouldn't do, say things we otherwise wouldn't say, to shrink back and begin to have voices in our head, self-talk that we otherwise would never talk. To have a constructive frustration is to say, I know that one day I will get over this wrong. It might be in an hour, it might be in a day, a week. One day I'm going to get over this thing that is causing me to be so angry. And if I know that I can get over it one day, why not get over it today? Why not, instead of spending all this energy stirring the pot of my frustration and allowing it to bring about a destructive, why not use all that energy to get over it, that I might get to the good, that I might let this adversity that stirred up anger within me be something that refines me instead of defines me, that sets me up to get better instead of boxing me in to sulk in my anger. You see, the power of a constructive frustration is it says, I'm going to take this wrong and I'm going to use it to fuel me to make it right. Now you tell me, what's more helpful for your team? That you get frustrated and blow up a missed call and then begin to act disrespectfully to the referee across the course of a game because of a missed call? Or to recognize a missed call is simply a missed call, and I'm going to use that frustration to play harder and do better for the rest of the game? I think it's very clear which is more advantageous. So when the anger comes, I want to challenge you to take 5, to have a controlled disagreement, to have a constructive frustration, and number 3, to count the eyes. To take 5 and look all around you and recognize that no matter the feelings that are welling within you, your actions represent and speak for the name on the front of your jersey and the name on the back of your jersey. That when in your anger, you lose control. When in your anger, you blow up. When in your anger, you become destructive, that speaks negatively and poorly of your team name. It speaks negatively and poorly of your coach and of your teammates, of your campus and of your community. And it speaks negatively of your family. And I'm just telling you, too much has been entrusted to you. You have been given too great of an honor to carry and to lift up the name of your team and to lift up the name of your family, to let some fleeting wrong, some fleeting anger cause you to put a stain on the name of your team or the name of your family. When you pause, take 5 and start to count the eyes. Look eyes by eyes at all those around you who are counting on you, all those around you who believe in you, all those around you who support you, all those around you who you represent, and ask the question, if I blow up in this moment, do I represent my mother well? If I blow up in this moment, do I represent the investment and the standard that my coach has for our program well? You see, when we count the eyes, we realize that representing the name on the front of the jersey and the back of the jersey well is more helpful and more important than blowing up in our anger. Listen to me, this is not simply about character. This is about you becoming your best, and your anger will never help you become your best. It'll always limit you. And so the next time anger comes, whether it's in the locker room, it's at home, or it's in the middle of a game, I want you to remember that you have the power because you have the choice to take 5 seconds, 5 breaths, 5 moments, step back and go, I'm going to control my disagreements so that I do not blow up and make something big that ought to be small, so that I can make my frustration constructive and not destructive, that I can give my very best to make my teams better because I want to honor my team. I want to represent well the name of the jersey on the front and the name on the back. And I'm telling you this, the greater this muscle, the stronger it becomes, the more unstoppable you become. Anger is going to happen. It's not good or bad. It's what you do with it that makes all the difference. And I want to challenge you to take 5. Listen to me. I don't know your goals or dreams, big or small, short-term or long, but I do know this. If you want to find success in the game of sports and the game of life, it's not complicated. It's as simple as 2 words. You got to take 5. Let's have a good one today.